What's going on, Omnibuddies? Mitch here, and today we have another Omnibuddy overview. What are we looking at? We are looking at Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples' masterpiece, Saga. Alright, so what is Saga? Saga is a sci-fi space opera. It's written by Brian K. Vaughan. It's illustrated by Fiona Staples. It is the epitome of, well, I already said it, a space opera. It's spanning over 3 hardcover deluxes. I think there's 6 trade paperbacks. There's single issues. There's tons of ways to collect it. But right now, a trade paperback box set has been solicited, and I believe it's just coming out. You can pre-order that or order it, depending on when you're watching this video, at Organic Price Books. That's our channel sponsor. You can use code Omnibuddy for $2 off every order, not just that order, but every order you make there. Over $30, it's free shipping. They are super fast shipping, super good with communication, and they pack like none other. So you can not have to worry about that box set coming in good condition. So anyways, let's take a look at this space opera. All right, so here we have Saga Volume 1. Again, this is by Brian K. Vaughan, Fiona Staples. Here is the first book, Volume 1 Deluxe. We have the spine, and this is by Image. And we have the back cover, relatively plain, straightforward. MRSP, $50 USD. So not the world's cheapest books, but definitely worth it. And especially if you buy it at discount through one of the discount online retailers, you can get it at a great price if you can find the deluxes. Again, I believe it's a 6 trade paperback box set is available, so you can go many different routes. It's a beautiful box set, and the trade paperbacks are definitely awesome too. It's pretty cool. Let me show you real quick. So that's Volume 1. Here is a Volume 2, which is pretty awesome. And these are all Hazel, their daughter, and here is Volume 3. So you can kind of see they're all stages of development of the kids. I know that the breastfeeding caused a big ruckus on the old internets with, you know, all that, but I think it's awesome. Nose picking, people are like, oh, it's gross or whatever. I'm like, no, I have 3 daughters. These are definitely the stages of development. My daughter last summer lost her first tooth and then promptly lost her 2 front and bottom 2 front. So it was all 4 gone. The nose picking, breastfeeding, definitely kids. So let's look at Volume 1. And these are not safe for work. They are not safe for kids. These are not meant for kids, or if you don't have a private place to read these at work. Let's get them open real quick. Here's the end sheets and Saga. This is 1 through 18, and I believe the other ones all have about 18-ish also. And as you can see from the start, it gets right into it with birthing and all that goes into it, and relatively realistic. Yeah, so, and it goes right into the gruesome, gory, and beautiful and very naked truths of, of childbirth and raising a child and all of that. And I did not have to do this when we had our kids. I did not have to cut the cord with my teeth. I had nice, sterile scissors that they gave me, but you know, to each their own. And it gets right into it, and it is a space opera. It's nuts. Robots walking around with TVs for heads and wizards and all this craziness. And basically what this is worlds. It's not a world war. It's like a universal war. It is worlds pitted against each other because 2 races, 2 factions cannot get along and have never gotten along, and they don't know how to get along. And so everyone gets into it. And this book has a ton of nudity, graphic, everything in it. So if you are not wanting to see any of that, turn off the YouTube video now. This book is not for you. It is beautifully illustrated, like the colors and the art, though, just out of this world. No pun intended as we turn to space. But it is so cool. And it definitely has, like I just said, lots of graphic nudity and sex and violence and gore. But it's also full of romance and magic and political intrigue and all this craziness and how people get sucked into war. And it's got probably like war profiteering and bounty hunters like the Will and his Lion Cat. If you've ever heard of Lion Cat, this is Lion Cat, the sidekick for the Will, who tells him if people are lying, which is a pretty good trait to have if you're hunting people. There are ghosts in this where you meet people who are dead and have been dead and dealing with souls and afterlife and all this. Like, it is all over the world. And it definitely, this was one of the harder things I do not enjoy reading about sex slavery or especially with kids being pulled into it. And that definitely gets dealt with in this book. And honestly, it gets dealt with in a pretty satisfying way. People get dead because of it, which is awesome. Yeah, because they pretty much deserve it. Anyways, I won't get into my personal beliefs or anything. We'll just let the art and story speak for itself. Family matters and drama of, you cannot be with this person. It is very much a Romeo, Juliet, literally star-crossed lovers. Each book kind of has a little bit of an arc and follows some different people, and people die that you would not expect at the most unexpected points. I'm trying not to get too much into it because it is so good and just tons of twists and turns and interesting things that happen. It always keeps you on edge, which is pretty awesome. Flying spaceship trees and meeting romance novel authors. There's the two media guys who are trying to investigate. They're investigative journalists and all that, and trying to find out the story and all that. It's got great cover art in here, tons of cool gallery pieces and step-by-step processes. And so it's not just the book. This book has a lot of good bonus material at the end, which is just super cool. I love seeing process art. If you know me and watch these overviews, you know I love process art. Let's see, some interviews, just some sketchbook stuff, which is pretty cool. She is bananas, but super cool. And that is book one. Let me grab book two quick. And I gotta say, I love the colors of these books, like bright blue, bright pink, and then bright purple. Oh, I grabbed book three. What am I doing with my life? Bright blue, bright purple, bright pink. So very similar. Here's the, you know what? Here, I'll just do this. You can see all three together in reverse order and all that. Yeah, make sure it's in focus so you can actually see. Very cool, well-designed books. They're uniform and all good. Mine, I bought this one secondhand, so it's got a little crunchy in the corner. But then I got 2 and 3 as they came out. So let's look at 2. And Hazel is growing up a little bit, so you can kind of get the whole timeline as it's going just by her age and how old she's getting. Yeah, you can see it's definitely got some interesting interesting stuff and lots of gore. I'm going backwards, so if this is throwing you off, I'm sorry, but I also just don't want to show too much of it because it's such a cool story and it's so good. Let's see. Yeah, just when the family's separated and they come back together, it's got kind of a little bit of a, if you've been watching the new Lost in Space on Netflix, it's got a little bit of that vibe where the family comes together, gets broken apart, who can you trust, who can you not trust, all that kind of stuff. It deals with all the LGBTQ plus, touches on that and really tasteful and I wouldn't even say, I guess interesting, but it treats, everyone as people and doesn't, it kind of throws it in your face to say, look, this is how it is and you can deal with it and move on. If you can't, if you're not into that, you're not going to be into these books. But adorable, little killer, but also, can't really kill because he's so tiny, but adorable. He tries. Again, backups in the book. So nice. So well done. I just love Fiona Staples' art. Just elevates this entire story beyond what it would be. Just so good. When it comes shrink wrapped, these little mailers come in there. I bought that first book used, so I didn't get this in there, which is this comes on the back shrink wrapped in. I kind of wish, I do love the plain background, but kind of like the crazy art and stuff. But oh well, it's included in there as a piece. I think I still have, no, maybe I don't have that one in here. Maybe, did I buy this one used? Maybe I did. I don't know. It's been a while. Book 3, she's grown up and the family's, back together. Are they, how long will they last? They're in space. They're struggling. There are just so many struggles that they go through. And it's not one of those where it's like, okay, they're back together and now they're going to get broken up again. Obviously something's going to happen. It keeps you on your toes and it's a really good story that keeps moving along. And it's only halfway through the series. They took that year-long break. It's only halfway through the series, but they still have so much more to do. I'm super interested. I will stop. I'll stop right there. That's a great page to stop on. And make sure it's in focus. Hopefully it was in focus most of this time. Sorry if it wasn't. Stop there because I don't want to give away the ending of this book because book 3 tore me up in multiple ways emotionally. But that is really it. Book 1, 2, and 3. Try and get those straightened out there so you can see them. Of Saga. All right, so that is a quick overview of Saga by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. It is, I believe, 44 issues so far. It's halfway through the story, which is unbelievable. They've done so much so far, and they have so much farther to go. They're only halfway through the story. If you were following it while it was coming out, they took, I think, so basically during all of the pandemic and all of that, they took most of that off. So just over a year off, I believe, just a break so that, they could get refreshed, try some other things out, which I can totally respect if you're doing this for so long. So they're coming back, which is awesome. The next issue, I think 45 is what it is been solicited for, I think, mid-early 2022. So it's super exciting. This book, there's been 2 books that I've read, comic books, that have nearly made me cry. I've never cried while reading a book, which I don't know, maybe that says more about me that my wife would consider me dead on the inside. But there's been 2 books that I've ever read that have nearly made me cry. One of them being I Kill Giants. So if you've never read that, make sure to check that out. And the second being Saga, and it was the 3rd book, really the end of the 3rd book, near the end of the 3rd book, really. There's 2 points in there, dad moments. So if you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, and you're a father or parent, prepare yourself. It's pretty rough emotional standpoint. I know I say that a lot if I read dad things, just as a parent myself, especially with daughters and little girls, because I have 3 little girls myself. So it's wearing your arm out on that sleeve, and when you're reading those tough situations and spots that they're being put in, ooh, it can get rough, but man, is it worth it. It is not safe for work, as you saw by those pictures. it's not for kids. This is very much an adult book. So be warned, as you saw me flipping through it, obviously not super kid friendly and very adult. And if you're gonna read it at work, close your office door or find a corner of the break room where people aren't gonna be looking over your shoulder, because some of those panels that you flip to, yikes. Anyways, that's it. What have you been reading? Remember to comment. I love talking with you all. I want to know what you've been reading. Have you found anything similar to Saga, where it's just this big space opera type, you know, over the top crazy world, universe really? Have you found anything like that that's similar to Saga? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Again, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, do all those things, because it helps support the channel. And again, you can pre-order using code Omnibuddy at our channel sponsor, Organic Price Books. Get $2 off every order, and it helps support the channel, helps support OPB, which is a small, not so small now, up-and-coming business. So it's a small business out of Texas, and they ship, they pack, they communicate like none other, and their deals are out of this world. So make sure to do that. All right, that's it for today. Stay awesome, stay safe.